Alaska is sparsely populated and known for its harsh terrain, with some places only accessible by plane, boat or snowmobile. Yet it's being hailed as a vaccine success story. Every third Alaskan is fully vaccinated. Nearly half of the population has received one shot. The key? Good planning and working with Indigenous leaders. Alaska became the first U.S. state to offer COVID-19 vaccines to all adults in March. Tourists will be able to receive shots at airports from June.
Welcome, I'm Ben Fazul, and kids from the age of 12 can now get their shots in Alaska and right across the U.S. But it's Alaska in particular, one of the remotest places on Earth, which is showing the rest of the world how to fight off a pandemic.
Final preparations for a flight near the Arctic Circle in Alaska. Kimberly Andon has with her 50 shots of the Moderna vaccine. She hopes they'll bring an end to the pandemic, which has hit rural Alaska hard.
One person gets it here, that's 5% of the population almost. So that one household pretty much can cause for the whole village to shut down. That means nobody hauling water, nobody hauling fuel, nobody, you're not leaving your house to go get stuff that you need.
Okay, it's going to take us about 20...
Despite its remoteness, Alaska has rolled out COVID-19 vaccines faster than any other state in the U.S. Today, the team of healthcare professionals will be visiting several indigenous communities in the Arctic wilderness. The village of Vinatai has no mobile phone coverage, no supermarket, and no permanent doctor. All goods have to be flown in. Today's air freight is the COVID-19 vaccine. The village of around 200 inhabitants has only 2 cars. One of them is the ambulance. Snowmobiles are the most important means of transport here. A quick ride takes the team to the local healthcare center. Inside, around 20 villagers are waiting for their shot. Like most of the villagers, Lawrence Roberts belongs to the Gwich'in tribe. For many years, he's relied on his strong constitution. But in times of the pandemic, he wants to play it safe.
Relax.
It is pretty important. I mean, from what I learned, you wouldn't have to get sick, or, if it will prevent hospitalization, that's good. Here I come.
On his quad, Lawrence takes us to his home at the edge of a forest. For a year, he wasn't allowed to leave the village. The tribal government imposed strict rules to protect the community from the virus. Lawrence says it's the modern way of life that makes people so vulnerable to COVID-19.
How I grew up, we don't have no outside contact. All we're doing is just basically traveling with dog packs here and there. And my grandpa would shoot moose or something, and that's where we settled down for a month. And we were, and dry the meat. That's basically what it is. And it was much healthier lifestyle, that I knew, that I experienced. Never get sick, and when you're out in the woods, you don't get sick at all.
Take off to the next village. It may be one of the world's remotest places, but when it comes to the vaccine program, Alaska is leading the way.
Claire Hannon is Executive Director of the Association of Immunization Managers and joins us from the US. Claire, what's behind Alaska's success considering the huge geographical hindrances it's had to overcome?
Well, Alaska has a lot of experience getting vaccine out to their remote areas. One thing they have done with COVID-19 vaccine is they have really drawn their communities together and, informed and educated about the vaccine. They have gotten the vaccine out to their remote villages. They've actually gone door to door in some of these villages getting people vaccinated, and they've just done a really coordinated job getting the vaccine to everyone that wants to get it.
How did the US manage to go from 3 million vaccinations administered in the whole month of December 2020 to over 3 million per day just back in April?
Right. Well, I mean, a couple of important things. The one is the production and the supply, and the supply and production were kind of up and down in December. We didn't have a real steady outcome of vaccine doses coming off the manufacturing plant. We have that now. Supply increased, and really we're getting 20 and 30 million doses of the vaccine out per week to the states. So that's made a huge difference. And in addition to that, the states have done large-scale vaccination sites, as well as getting it to smaller sites, community health centers, and retail pharmacies. So really getting more supply, more steady supply, and getting the vaccine out to more availability sites. That's been the key.
At the same time, though, since the middle of April, the number of daily vaccinations has been going down to more or less 2 million per day. Why is that?
So we have kind of hit that point where a lot of people who wanted to be vaccinated have been vaccinated. 50% of people have gotten at least one dose, just about. And so, we're really getting to the point now where we need to work harder to get people, to assure people, to get information to people. We're still vaccinating about 2 million people per day, so that's really good. We have about 10 states that have vaccinated over 50% of their population, but about 10 states where only about 35% have been vaccinated. And that's really the difference by region of, people with regard to their skepticism or, their cautiousness about getting the vaccine. So we've got to make it as available as possible.
What's working harder mean? Because you mentioned in Alaska going door to door, which of course is risky in itself, but I've heard about other states giving out free cannabis, free beer.
They were giving out free beer in New Jersey. Alaska's got sleeves up for summer, having block parties for vaccination, getting ready for tourist season, giving vaccine at the airport. I think states are just doing anything they can. We see businesses giving incentives, mostly to their employees. Krispy Kreme is giving free donuts to people who get vaccinated. Really just trying to get everyone involved, everyone to feel good about getting the vaccine, about getting us back to a place where, we can have fun and be safe and protected from the disease.
Would you say this is something the rest of the world could learn from?
I mean, I do think the rest of the world can learn from what we've learned here in the United States. First of all, the large vaccine sites, getting the vaccine out as quickly as possible was really successful for us. And the more people we're seeing other people getting vaccinated, the more they felt safe getting vaccinated themselves. And also information. Information is really the key. The population right now that says they're hesitant or doesn't want to get vaccinated, we see that many of them have not received any information about the vaccine or have only seen negative information about the vaccine. So getting information out, giving all the information you can about how the vaccine works, its value, its safety, its effectiveness, doing that ahead of time makes a difference, and then high volume logistically.
Claire Hannon there from the Association of Immunization Managers. Thank you so much.
Thanks very much for having me.
Let me put you in the capable hands of my colleague Derek Williams now to look at your questions on the coronavirus.
I've been vaccinated and feel some side effects. Am I contagious to others?
Pretty much all of the vaccines approved so far in various parts of the world are fairly reactogenic, which means they often cause mild side effects like pain and swelling at the injection site, as well as things like fatigue or headache or fever or chills or aching joints. By some estimates, about 2/3 of all recipients report those sorts of effects soon after having a shot. They generally disappear within a day or two. Side effects appear to be more common in women than in men, and also seem to happen more often in younger recipients than in the elderly. But side effects aren't caused by live virus replicating in your body because the vaccines in use don't actually contain any live virus. Instead, they employ a number of different tricks to fool your immune system into believing you've caught the virus. Many vaccine platforms work by delivering genetic instructions into your cells that cause them to build SARS-CoV-2 proteins. These harmless components teach your defenses to recognize the virus without real exposure to it. The available Chinese vaccines accomplish the same goal by using chemically inactivated or disabled virus to put the immune system on red alert. But because vaccines don't expose you to live virus, they can't give you the disease, hence you can't be contagious, assuming, of course, that you didn't catch COVID-19 for real from someone in the days between vaccination and the ramp up of your immune response. The sometimes unpleasant vaccine side effects, experts say, are actually a kind of confirmation that your immune system is reacting as it should.
And we leave you with pictures from Romania, where Dracula is taking a bite out of COVID-19 at his mythic home Bran castle. Medics have set up a vaccination centre at Transylvania's main attraction. Visitors can get a free jab every weekend this month without an appointment. Also included a vaccination certificate and free entry to the castle's torture chamber. Romania and many other places are looking for creative ways to boost their vaccination rollouts. Be creative and stay safe. See you again soon.